Hello everyone and welcome to my first video. I am making a bento box with a rice. Here I'm chopping up the vegetables and putting them into a bowl so that I can later stir fry them. The scraps of the carrot I put into a separate bowl so that I could compost them later. A couple of the carrot bits I decided I needed to carve it a little bit smaller, and I did that. Then I moved on to the broccoli, struggled to open the packet. I took the ends off of them and put those into the compost bowl, and then chopped up the stalks and then separated the heads into a couple of pieces to make them easier to cook. Lastly, I added some spinach, just chopped it roughly and put it in the bowl. And then that went into the compost, and I washed it and it came back. Then I put some ham. This is already cooked, but I will later cook it for crisping it up. And put that into the bowl, ready to be cooked. And I had an egg. Next I moved on to making a spiced oil, which I put oregano, hot chili powder, and garlic granules into. And then struggled to put the lid on, clearly. Next I put the oil in and then mixed that up. And I decided that it didn't have enough chilli in, so I added a little bit more hot chili powder. I like my food spicy. If you don't, I would not put in any more hot chili powder. I kind of do it by eye. Most people know what they like. Then I put salt, sesame seeds, some crushed chilies, which are optional, and black pepper into a pot, and then I would fry those off. So I put a little bit of oil into a pan on a medium-high heat. And then I put in my sesame seed mixture. And I cooked this off for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I stirred it constantly, but I've edited it so it's short of a video because that would be very boring to watch. This is quite a nice recipe because you only need one pot on the stove, and obviously I've used lots of different bowls, but you don't need to. You can just put it straight in the compost. And it's quite a nice one for beginners. Here I'm just putting in the ham that I ripped up earlier so that it can crisp up. And then I'm mixing it around, and you can see it's changing colour as it becomes more crisp. Then I took it out of the pan and put it into a ramekin, one of the ones I used earlier. Then I poured my vegetables into the pot, place where I got all the chilies out, and put those to the side. Again, if you like your food less spicy, you can de-seed the chilies. I didn't because I like spice. And then stir those around, put the top of the pot on, and steamed it for a couple of minutes, then came back. And that was how it was looking. Then I added some of the chili oil that I made earlier, spiced oil, chili oil, and put that over the vegetables just to season them as they cook. And then I stirred that all together. Then I moved the vegetables into the bowl that they were originally in, and at this point I realised that I could just tip them in, so I just cut the video because you can't see what I'm doing anyway because it's on the side. And then I added more oil to the pan so that I could fry my egg. And before I fried it, I made sure that the oil got up to a high temperature. And I just tested it by putting it in a broccoli end and it started fizzing, but I haven't got that on video. After a while, I started putting oil on the top of the egg to help just cook the top a little bit. And then I lifted it up. I did mine a little bit early and it was still running on the bottom, so just make sure you wait. It's a waiting game. If it looks done, sometimes it isn't. And don't force it. But eventually I got it up and it was cooked really nicely. Then I had all of my things and it was time to assemble. So I have a bento box, but you can stick this in any lunch box or you can just eat it as a meal. And I put a biscuit in the top as well as a plum from my fruit bowl and a couple of little chocolate truffles that I made for Christmas, which were left over. Then in the bottom, I got the rice that I put in the rice cooker at the very start, which I don't think I showed because I don't have a video of it, but I did put rice in the rice cooker. And I got that out of the rice cooker, and then my mum came in and started talking, which is why there's no audio on the actual video here. And I took that and I put that into my bento box. And the rice cooker works well. I got it as a Christmas present, so that was cool. And then I mixed up my things, added my meat and sesame mixture. And you can skip this mixture if you're vegetarian and just do the vegetables. It will taste just as good. I just fancied some meat. And then I put on my stir-fried vegetables. I did wash my hands before I did this, don't worry. Then I put the chili oil over the top of the egg. And again, this is quite a spicy one, so you can have it more or less spicy and it might not look as red, but it'll still taste good. And then I was done, so I moved my dishes to where the dishwasher is. And then I ate it, and it was really good. The egg was crispy, and the yolk was soft and runny. The vegetables were nice and firm still, but were definitely cooked, and the rice was just really good, which is completely the rice cooker and nothing to do with me, but it was really good rice. And then okay, hope you enjoyed this. Bye.